Good morning. Welcome to RCSP, Florida. Today we are at Colt Creek State Park, and it's the first time I've been here. It's a fairly large park, lots of trails, miles and miles of trails if you want to hike them. But like I say, I can't say what's here yet because we just got here. I got a couple of pictures of a flower a little while ago, but like I say, I've only gone probably a quarter of a mile, so I'll check and see what's out here and kind of let you know as we go along. And we should be able to turn this around backwards now and shoot the other direction and have audio. Okay, you can see over in the distance, you can see the restroom area. There's a dock out there. They do rent canoes and kayaks here, and if you look hard, you can see Redbird over there, probably on the left-hand side of the screen, closer to the right of that tree you see. So, and then there's a little lake out here. It says Mack Lake. So we're going to kind of walk around it, I think, and see what we can find, and then we'll see what else there's lots of trails out here, and like I said, miles and miles, so no way we're going to explore it all today. So this is kind of an exploratory trip, and I'll keep you informed and show you what we find out here, if we find that much. I've seen some birds, but it remains to be seen what we're going to be able to take pictures of. I'll catch up with you later.
The trail I'm taking today is called Orange Trail. Orange Trail is miles long, and we're only going to take a portion of it today. We're taking a portion that goes along beside the west side of Mack Lake. As you can see, it's a little bit on the damp side, and right ahead of me it's getting into more mud, so we're going to kind of hang over to the left side here so we don't get mud all over us, and then kind of pick our way through this. I have a feeling this trail may be really wet or flooded. And now we get the first view of Mack Lake from at least the west side. As you can see, they've got a nice little bench for you to rest on here. And the ever-popular Alligator Sign, which is pretty much every decent-sized watering hole or river or whatever in Florida. And I can tell from looking at this ahead of me that this is not going to be a trail I'm going to be able to take today. You can see how muddy it is from the footprints that are in there, and right ahead of me, about maybe 20-30 feet, it's water in the trail. So unfortunately, I did not have my boots in the car, so my water boots, so we're going to have to kind of head back and find another trail to go to. I normally have them in the car, but whenever we have anybody ride with us there, I put them under the passenger seat in the back of the car so they get in the way if somebody's in the back. So I took them out, and when I got through that trip, I forgot to put them back in. Here you can see another look at Mack Lake here. This is really a beautiful location. I just got here, but from what I've seen of this park, it is really a nice park. It may become one of my favorites. So let's head back to the head of this trail. Up this trail a ways, we end up getting to another trail right across the road. And there's another parking area. Unfortunately, it wasn't the one I parked in, so we're going to have to walk back to the car for a ways. Coming up is a really big field out here that's between the road is out a ways, probably a couple hundred yards from where I am right here. Look how red this bush is, unusual for Florida. And if you look coming up, when I tilt up a little more, there we go, you can see the cars in the parking lot. We're headed for those cars because the trail's right there. We're across the road down the other trail, past the parking area, and there's another one of those larger bushes that, with the red leaves. We're now in pretty much pine forest and palmettos on this side of the trail. And it's hard to find anything in here. There's birds in here, but the trees are so tall, if they're in the top of the trees, you're kind of looking straight up at them to even get a halfway decent picture. But across on the other side, there's this big, huge field. When I first got here, there was a huge John Deere tractor back there with a great big bush hog on it, mowing this field. They keep up. There's a lot of fields up here, as you'll see later on. I'm probably only going to go on this trail for a while, and I don't know. There are birds if you look on the right side of the trail, and also on the left side you see some bushes. But one thing, there's not a whole lot that hangs out in palmettos because there's really nothing for them to eat. So you'll see them flying into some of these branches, and they'll be in this grass, and it'll be on the right side of the road, or I should say trail. This one doesn't even have tracks on it, although I'm sure they take 4x4s down here to check. You just saw a little bird fly there. So we'll take this for a while further and see what happens, but I think I'm going to go down this road just for a short distance, and then we're going to end up turning around and heading back to the car and going to another area. Well, we're back at the car, and we've already gone down to the end of the road and turned around, and now we're coming back. And the area on the right is the second equestrian, basically campground. And there are facilities at that one. The first one, number 1 here, which is has like parking or sites number 1 through 10, I believe. And I think the other ones are maybe 11 through 20. I'm not really sure. And there's the entrance to the first entrance to the first one. And then we go through this buffer area here. And then we come up to the basically the exit for the second one. And here's the entrance coming up to the south parking lot, which is coming up right here, and that is where we're headed. It's about lunchtime, and I'm going to go back here. I saw a picnic table back here earlier, so I'm going to go back here and have a sandwich and have my lunch and carry on from here. And then I'm probably going to hike this trail beside me. And now you can see the picnic table back there. And there were a lot of birds here, too. I see a lot of birds. You can see them flying as I come in here and get close. I probably got closer than I needed to. I didn't know there were going to be a lot of birds there, but a lot of the pictures I got of birds were right here. And I decided, looking in that sun, I was going to go out here and make a U-turn and have it facing the other direction so it doesn't heat the car up. It's a nice day today, but it's still going to be hot enough with that car closed up to get the front of the car all hot, and I'd rather not do that. You just saw another bird fly right there. Lunchtime. Done with lunch, everything's put away, and I've got the camera out. I'm using the 100 to 400 today on the A7R4. And here we go. You can see the trail sign there, and obviously no motorized vehicles. We're headed down this trail here to see what, this goes a long, long way, so we're only going to go partially down it too. Here's a nice little pond here that you can see, and I ended up taking a picture. If you can't see him now, but maybe you can see him later on, but there was a egret on the far side, and I ended up getting a picture of him, which you'll see later. By the way, I'm narrating this, which I don't normally do. I normally record live video, but unfortunately, right after I did the open, I had problems with the Rode microphone, and I'll tell you about that later, but the battery was dead, so was a little surprised by that, and I blame myself. I should have checked it, and I did not, and that's my fault. Sometimes you just expect things to do something, and if they don't, you hose yourself, and that's what I did. Unfortunately, I did not know this picnic table was here when I ate lunch, or I would have come back here. Because look how nice this place is. Nice big live oak tree, a couple of them. Nice picnic table right on the edge of the pond. Wow, this would have been nice to eat lunch at. I will remember this for next time, and there will be a next time, by the way. There may be several next times. And on top of the pond, if you kind of look out to the right side there, you can see that there's a big, huge field out there. And this field and all these fields have lots and lots of birds in them, but they're really hard to find. They're down in the grass feeding, and you don't see them very often. If you walk down the trail, a lot of times they'll fly, but they'll fly up into the bushes or trees, and they're blocked by limbs, so you can't see them. And it's really difficult to photograph them. But I've seen a lot of birds in this grass. And here's the trail. This is not too far. This is just past where the picnic table was. I'm back on the trail again. And it goes down and makes a left-hand turn right by the tree line there in front, and goes all along that tree line. Then it makes another right and another left, and goes along that tree line on the left-hand side. I'm not sure what this plant is, but I bet you if it blooms, it might be pretty. We go into a time warp here coming back. I went down a ways, got the pictures that I could get, and decided we needed to go check out some other areas. Since it's my first visit, I want to check out a lot of places, so we're headed back to the car. And here we are. We're back at the car.
This is Mack Lake. The wind is kind of non-existent today, and it is really, really a pretty sight. And by the way, I'm standing on the dock that's here at Mack Lake. This is where you rent canoes and kayaks, so you can go out there and paddle around, which I plan on doing one day. By the way, I'm on my GoPro 10 microphone in the front. Unfortunately, the Rode battery, which is supposed to last for 9 hours, apparently doesn't last for 9 hours because it died. Really, oddly enough, though, the receiver didn't die. Unfortunately, just the Rode transmitter. Moving on. If you remember the picture I took on the dock of Mack Lake, well, on the way back, you kind of twist and turn and twist and turn, and I ended up coming down here, and it's actually the other end of Mack Lake. Because if you pan slowly around here, you will see, you can see the roof down there, and you can see the white, basically, tops to the posts on the dock that I was on earlier. So this takes you right straight back to basically the enclosed pavilion and restrooms. So this is just the other end of Mack Lake, but cool nonetheless. So let me go back. This is not a very good road here. It is wet, and it's I'm sure my boots are going to be kind of full of mud when I get back. And there's another pond that's the other direction from where this is, from where I parked. I basically turned at the road right by the ranger station as you come in. There's an unpaved road there, and you come in there, and then you can come down here into an area where you can actually park. This is gated off. You can walk through it. You can't drive a vehicle through it. So I'll kind of keep this going to kind of show you where this is. It's got a little nice place on the lake down here, but most things here have been well maintained, but that is not. It's pretty well fallen apart, and they have not repaired it, so. They have really big ant beds here. Well, as you can see, this is my kind of place. There's grass everywhere. You know what a fan I am of grass. Here's the other pond out there. Harder to see with me kind of pointing into the sun. Fortunately, it's behind a cloud now. So let's go on down here. See from the hoofprints that there's been some horses down here. They do ride horses. Matter of fact, I'm right beside, on the other side of that pond is where the equestrian area is for parking your trailers and vehicles when you bring your horses in. covered most of this area today, not all of it. No way I've covered all the trails, but I've been to most of the areas. There's kind of a horse print and a deer print right on top of it. I haven't seen any deer, which I'm a little surprised at. I guess I'm gonna have to get serious and start carrying bear spray since there is bears here. I got spooked up at Payne's Prairie the other day when I was up there. I'll tell you about that in another video, but I went around and thought it was a bear, but it ended up being a bison that was in the water up to his belly, and I couldn't see any legs, and anything that big and that dark is normally a black bear. But so I sort of hid the other way because I was on a trail. Anyway, I'll save that story for later, but I obviously survived. But it did kind of scare the crap out of me there. I'll tell you about it in another video. This is a pretty area. I'm not sure how far this trail goes. I'm gonna take it part of the way, but I'm not gonna take it all the way. Because wherever it goes, I have found that trails don't end up there. They may be a loop, but it ends up on the road somewhere and you have to walk back to your car. So I think I'm gonna go down here a little past the pond and see where it goes. And then I'm gonna call it a day and head back to the car, and we'll be getting out of here. Here's the other side of the pond. It's kind of pretty. This side is in the shade and the other side is in the sun. And I can see the mosquitoes are starting to come out, so I think I'm gonna move on. The trail ended up coming clear around the pond, so I am circling the pond. I'm gonna come out here with the equestrians park and then have to walk back to my car. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Well, the old horses are sinking in this stuff. I'm sinking in myself. But fortunately, I don't weigh as much as a horse. They're really kind of sinking in. I can imagine at certain times this is going to almost be impassable. That's a pretty sight though, right there. It is real pretty. Really, really pretty. This is actually a pretty good size. This is really close to, it's only about 100 yards from Mack Lake. So it's pretty close. There's supposed to be another one out here, and I think it must be probably further on down that trail, but that'll be for another day. I think that this was probably meant for a little bit drier time. It's been dry here lately, but apparently it's still got a lot of water up here, because you'd need probably at least knee boots to get over to the bench to sit down. Just thought that was funny. I'm going down a paved path here that goes to a little gazebo up here. And there is Mack Lake. If you look over there, you can see the sign for Mack Lake Nature Trail. I have not taken that yet. And probably won't take it to date. I've been here since about 10 o'clock this morning, or before 10. And I've walked a lot. This is paved here. It's just a little seating area here. I think there's a big picnic area up here for groups and families. I showed you where I ate. You can see ahead that the pavement runs out. Yeah, that's just let me get it. Before I turn that way, let me get out of the sun here. It's just a big picnic pavilion. White ibis pavilion. And there are white ibis here. I saw them flying this morning, but I haven't seen them anywhere in any of the water. And I've seen a lot of this place today, but I haven't even touched it, especially as far as the trails go. I'll tally this all up and let you know what I did and where I went in the video. Whew. Maybe I should have been carrying my bear spray. Florida black bears, safety in bear country. They have the best smell. 80% of their diet consists of plants, 5% meat, 15% insects, and they are fast. You can run up to 30 miles per hour. That's faster than I can run. It's faster than I can ride a bike, too. Their average front paw print is 4.7 inches for the males and 3.7 for the females. Well, that's something I should have been aware of. I usually ask when I come to a place like the new park like this, especially up in more towards the central part of the state, which is where you find more bears. Sorry if this audio is not great. It kind of ticks me off that the road failed the first time out. And it's not the road's fault. I should have been turning it off, but it's supposed to last for like 9 hours, so I just left it on. So I have a feeling that I don't exactly know when it went bad, so I think I've got a lot of video with no audio. And there's another little pavilion out there. And if you look down the road, right there is where the asphalt ends, and it goes to Shell Road, or Rock. And then if we swing around here, you'll see out there, probably right in the middle right now, is a great egret. Okay, let me get a little bit in the shade here. Well, I'm going to end this video here. I may go a couple of more places, but I'm not sure. I may not, so I'm going to end the video here. Glad you came along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Colt Creek State Park, and it's a beautiful place, beautiful trails, and I've only begun to explore it. Not sure how many pictures I'm going to end up with in the end. I got a few, but it's like I say, it's hit or miss in some of these places. I saw a lot of birds today, small birds. But you know how they are, those dicky birds or something else. They are really hard to nail. I got a picture of a bluebird and a couple of others, but a lot of them, they are in the trees and you just cannot get focus on them unless you use manual focus, and they aren't there long enough to do that. They usually are all over those trees and bushes. So you do the best you can do, and that's all I can do. So thanks for coming along with me. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I post a new video, please hit the bell button. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.